Up tonight, as part of our Bay Area Proud series, we have an update to a story we've been following for the past year.
Yes, it's the story of a San Jose athlete who gained everything after losing a leg. His name is Jeff Schmidt. His sport, triathlons. And here's NBC Bay Area's Garvin with the latest on his incredible journey.
Janelle, I first learned about Jeff Schmidt when someone emailed me a short video clip. It was of Jeff, alone and in the dark, hobbling across the finish line at the Kona 2012 Ironman World Championship, 1/2 hour after the finish line closed. I thought a story about this guy who just wouldn't quit would be interesting. I had no idea. And as you'll see in tonight's Bay Area Proud, it's not over yet.
They call someone who competes on a prosthetic leg a challenged athlete.
Looking good.
What they should call Jeff Schmidt is a magician. How else to explain his ability to transform a negative into a positive and do it more than once? We first met Jeff and wife Jenny not long after he returned from the 2012 Ironman Championship. Jeff told us he kept going that night in Hawaii because he had come too far to quit, and he wasn't talking about the 140-mile race. A star high school soccer player, Jeff's leg was shattered by a violent tackle 15 years ago. The next decade of his life was dominated by pain and immobility, by failed surgeries and drug dependencies. It was Jenny, actually, who first raised the idea of amputation. Jeff ultimately agreed and asked the doctor to cut his leg off.
If something in your life is causing you nothing but anguish and you can get rid of it, what do? You get rid of it.
Jeff says losing that leg turned out to be one of the best things that ever happened to him. And believe it or not, so was not finishing Kona in time.
Welcome to our kickoff event.
That's because Jeff's story of perseverance won him the attention of the triathlon community. Soon, Jeff was teaming up with Berkeley's GU Energy Labs and the Challenged Athletes Foundation, raising money to give prosthetic running legs to children who couldn't afford them. He was also invited back to Kona, given a second chance to conquer the biggest race of his life. Jeff trained like never before, more than 5,000 miles on the road and in the water, to make sure he was ready this year, and he was.
I was feeling prepared, I was feeling calm, and I was feeling ready to take on the day.
Jeff felt so good, in fact, his eyes could see the Hollywood ending up ahead. His calf muscle, though, had other ideas.
It was so painful. I mean, it had been cramped up that whole time, but all of a sudden it started spasming really bad.
An MRI later diagnosed it as a 90% tear. Jeff tried to fight the pain, but he wasn't going to beat the clock. He quit 10 miles into the run.
I was disappointed because I wanted to finish, but I think I was even more disappointed that I was letting down my sponsors. And I still feel that, sometimes that still hurts a little bit.
So it seems Jeff's story didn't have a Hollywood ending. It just happens to have a better one. The money Jeff says he raised for challenged kids makes it all worthwhile. And what kind of role model would he be for them now if he didn't keep pushing, didn't keep turning defeat into victory?
The lesson in this is just because you fail doesn't mean you give up. I failed twice now at this race, and that doesn't mean that I won't ever be back. So I will cross that finish line one day.
I, for one, believe him. And we talked about the money he raised for the Challenge Athletes Foundation to get the prosthetic legs for kids so they can participate in sports like this. I think last time he told me that money is still going up. It's more than $60,000. $60,000.
Generate more money now and interest, and just he's such a phenomenal athlete at the end of the day with all of this.
His determination is remarkable, that he has persevered through the loss of the leg, through what at the time felt like a great loss when he didn't finish Kona, that big one chance he was going to have to finish the biggest race of his life. And each time he manages to turn it around, turn it into a positive, and make his story even better.
He's already a winner in our eyes, and so many people. So thanks, Garvin.
Thanks, Garvin.